And now I would like to introduce your moderator for the session, Brian King. Brian began working for Rotary in 2001 and held a number of positions within the Rotary Foundation's Development Office. He became the Director of Membership for Rotary in 2014. And in this role, he leads a staff team that develops and implements targeted efforts at the club, district, zone, and organizational level, with the ultimate objective of strengthening each club's capacity to attract and engage a vibrant and diverse member base. Brian is also a proud member of the Rotary Club of Evanston. Welcome, Brian.
Thank you, Leanne. I'm so happy to be here with you today. And it's so great to be with attendees from all over the world. Really welcome, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to be with us. Now, I'd like to start our time together today by stating an important fact that our members, both Rotarians and Rotaractors, are Rotary's greatest asset. When Rotary's membership is strong, our clubs are more vibrant. Rotary has greater visibility and our members have more resources to help our communities flourish. So to accomplish all the good in the world that we want to do, we need a commitment and a continued emphasis on growing Rotary and Rotaract from our club, our district, and our zone leaders. In fact, growing Rotary's membership is Rotary International's highest internal organizational priority. Because when we grow Rotary, we grow our service, we grow the impact of our projects and the awareness and understanding in our communities. And most importantly, we grow as individuals. As we develop new skills, build new connections with other business, community, and thought leaders, and make new friends from diverse backgrounds. Now today, I'm thrilled to be joined by two such friends who are also members of the Rotary International Membership Committee. This committee's role is to advise the board, the RI board, on matters related to growing Rotary. This includes attracting new members and participants, educating and engaging new and existing members, and encouraging the formation of new, innovative, and flexible clubs and alternative membership models. Now today, together, we are going to share information about the current state of our membership and share ideas for how to increase our impact, expand our reach, enhance participant engagement, and increase our ability to adapt. Now, I'd love for both of you to introduce yourselves and let the attendees know what you hope they will take away from their time with us today. Yvonne, you first.
I'm Yvonne Kumujidaku, and I'm a past district governor of District 9102, which comprises Niger, Benin, Togo, and Ghana. And I'm from Ghana. Currently, I hold the Assistant Regional Rotary Foundation Coordinator for Zone 22, Region 27, and I'm also a member of the RI Membership Board. At the end of this seminar, I'm hoping that attendees will have a clearer picture of how to grow Rotary, keep members engaged in some of the most unique ways possible, all in the process of having fun. Thank you.
Thanks, Yvonne. And Kamal.
Thank you, Brian. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to my dear Rotarians from across the world. I am Kamal Sangvi. I am past Rotary International Director and currently chair the RI Membership Committee. I'm from India, from District 3250, from Rotary Club of Dhanbad, which is on the eastern part of India. Today's webinar and seminar is exciting, and I'm really looking forward that you have a takeaway message about what value partnerships bring to our organization, to our service project, and how does it help developing our membership program. So all the best to each one of you. Happy learning and a happy interaction on various aspects of membership.
Great. Thanks again to you both for being here today. And Now let's take a look at the state of our membership, which currently stands at 1.4 million people of action. Working together, 1.2 million Rotarians and 220,000 Rotaractors in more than 46,000 clubs are bringing positive change to communities worldwide. Now, the 2019 Council on Legislation amended the constitutional documents of Rotary International to include Rotaract clubs as unique and distinct members of Rotary. This action elevates Rotaract and positions Rotary for a future that is innovative, inclusive, and adapting to the world around us. Whether enrolled in university or starting a new career or taking an active role in the community, Rotaractors add one additional dimension to our membership and are equal and valued partners in service alongside Rotarians. Now, many of you want to know specifically how to attract younger members. And as you can see from this slide, there are more than 200,000 young leaders that are already a part of Rotary. So I urge you to find the Rotaractors in your community and ask what appeals to them and their club. Also seek out other younger professionals not yet a part of Rotary to understand what they want and ask what you as a Rotary club can be doing to help them achieve their personal and professional goals. Now, as of 1 July, Rotary Club membership stood at just under 1.163 million, and Rotaract Club membership stood at over 220,000. And while our Rotary Club membership declined by some 12,000 members, Rotaract Club membership actually increased by nearly 18,000. Last year, the number of our clubs has grown in Rotary and declined in Rotaract. But as we'll see in a moment, the rate of new club development varies greatly around the world, with regions experiencing the greatest membership declines, simply not replacing older, non-functioning clubs with new models that appeal to their community. Now you can see Rotaract has achieved gender parity, with women representing 52% of their membership. Meanwhile, women make up only 24% of Rotary Club members, with no change since the prior year. And this varies somewhat regionally, with Japan at the lowest end with only 7% inclusion of women, followed by India with only 14%, and the Caribbean leading globally with 40% female Rotarians. Now, this is the regional composition of our Rotary Club membership as of 1 July 2021, with Asia now holding 34% of total membership, followed by the US, Canada, and Caribbean at 27%. Asia has grown by 26% in the last 10 years, while Great Britain and Ireland has declined by 30%. Australia, New Zealand, and the Pacific Islands declined by 25%, and the US, Canada, and Caribbean have declined by 20% over this time. Now, the regions reporting the largest number of new clubs over the last 5 years are also the regions reporting the strongest membership growth. Conversely, the regions reporting the greatest net loss in clubs are also the regions experiencing the most significant membership declines. And that's not a coincidence. So let's take a look at a brief video that will better illustrate this point.
As Rotary, we often ask ourselves, how do we grow? Personally, professionally, and organizationally? The answer is simple. To grow Rotary, we need more Rotary clubs. Let's use Anytown as an example. Anytown is a city of 100,000 people and home to one proud Rotary club. But there are hundreds of other people of action, just like us, who are uniquely qualified to become Rotary members. They share the same drive and represent the values and fundamentals of a Rotary member. So why aren't they members? Well, the current club meets on Monday. There are leaders in Anytown who can't meet on a Monday. By excluding this segment, the potential members in Anytown has shrunk. Now consider, what if the meeting is at noon on Monday? There are people who can meet on Monday, but can't meet at noon. So now we have a smaller audience for Rotary in Anytown. Of the remaining group, some aren't interested in a club with a sit-down lunch and speakers. They are passionate about service, but aren't interested in a traditional club experience. And that is okay. The Rotary Club of Anytown isn't doing anything wrong. It just doesn't appeal to particular segments of the community. And if we're going to thrive for years to come, we must adapt and embrace change. In Anytown, we have an opportunity to expand because potential members are everywhere. More than half of the eligible people are prospective Rotary members, waiting to make a bigger impact in their community. But what Rotary Club exists for them? If Anytown creates new clubs at new times and new places, the hidden potential for Rotary will be revealed. As people of action, we must broaden our reach and provide opportunities to all leaders in the community. Together, all of us can grow Rotary.
So you see, new clubs have traditionally been the association's growth engine. These clubs have successfully fulfilled the needs for accommodating different demographic groups and meeting times, and as well as individuals who are requiring a varied meeting format. And what's really interesting is that our analysis has shown that as many as 88% of charter members of new clubs are first-time Rotarians, 88%. So we can be confident that starting new clubs is expanding our reach and welcoming new participants into Rotary. Now, Yvonne, you have had a lot of success chartering new clubs as a district governor. I'm hoping you could tell us a little bit about that process and what you learned about growing membership through new clubs.
Thank you, Brian. Yes, actually, we chartered about 14 new clubs, including the district's first satellite club. However, 3 stood out and I believe were a first internationally. The first one was using membership leads to form a new club. Now, we realized that there were an awful lot of people on membership leads who we could not place. So we decided, why not put them all into a club? And hey presto, we got a new club. It was a little bit tedious because there were so many phone calls you need to make, but it was worth it in the end. The last 2, we formed a Rotary club made up of Toastmasters and a new Toastmaster club made up of Rotarians. Now, these last 2 were quite easy to form, and District 9102 has an extremely vibrant and engaged district extension committee. We continually reinvent itself and make sure that any errors of the years past are not repeated. I started off by meeting up with the Toastmaster Division Director, which is the equivalent of District Governor, I believe, to discuss possible ways of cementing our strategic partnership and starting the bonding process. Considering many options, we decided to start off by forming 2 clubs, one for each of us. We invited each group to the other's weekly meetings, and both leaders on a prefixed date held a PowerPoint presentation explaining what Rotary and Toastmasters stood for. Flyers were sent out to all clubs weeks before to ensure maximum participation. A call went out to all, inviting both Rotarians and Toastmasters to join the 2 new clubs in formation. And in no time, a potential list began to emerge. At 25 perspectives, these lists were given to the various extension committees of both organizations. A WhatsApp platform group was formed for all new members for easy dissemination of information. All training was held online due to COVID-19, and new club advisors were chosen with various resource persons already trained by the Extension Committee to start the training and organizational meetings. In order to ensure all new clubs receive the same relevant information, District 9102's Club Extension Committee uses the same resource persons for each new club. Resource covered Rotary Basics, the birth of Rotary Foundation, membership, engagement, roles and responsibilities of club officers and Rotarians, engagement, the Constitution and bylaws, elections of officers, service, polio, Rotaract, Rotary dues, basically everything you need to know as a startup Rotarian. And this model expanded my scope in pursuing new members. Within 12 weeks, both clubs were ready to present an application for possible charter. The club advisor and 4 new aides mentored the new clubs for not less than 2 years, but the assistant governor is the main resource helper throughout, appointed by the district governor, of course. Ghana is in contact with various organizations with the possibility of forming new clubs using this model. The associations of engineers, human resources, architects, medical, accountants, pharmacies, gas and oil industry, aviation, forestry, environment, the list is endless. All these are organizations in which Rotary clubs could be formed linked to our areas of focus. The opportunity now seems endless, Brian. We are thinking outside the box.
I love that, Yvonne, and congratulations. Clearly you have a plan in place, a deliberate process, and really focusing not just on the formation of the new clubs, but supporting them and nurturing them to ensure that they're viable and vibrant for the long term. Clearly, new club development has been a key to membership growth in your area.
Yeah.
Now, another opportunity for growing Rotary is by embracing the call to action, each one, bring one. RI President Shekhar Mehta is asking every Rotarian and every Rotaractor to sponsor just one new member by the end of this Rotary year. So Kamal, can you talk more about this call to action?
Surely, Brian, this is a very important part of our organization. And I always say that Rotary is a miracle. Rotary is a miracle because Rotarians lend a hand of friendship, peace, and opportunity by giving sight to the blind, food to the hungry, water to the thirsty, home to the homeless. The list is endless. These miracles of Rotary, Brian, live in the hearts of our members. We say humanity is our business. And this work of Rotary requires members in greater numbers and more hands. Membership, like you said, Brian, is our greatest asset, resource, and the only sustainable advantage. When our membership increases, our clubs are more vibrant. We have more to show to the world. We have more resources to help communities flourish. Membership is Rotary's highest internal organizational priority. Why? Because new members bring with them new hues, new colors, new thought process, new vigor, new interest, and much needed change. For change and growth, friends, is the only constant in the world. Organizations which do not change and grow for the better stagnate and with time perish. Rotary is no exception to this rule. For positive growth, it is essential we have growth in members. Now, the million-dollar question is, how do we increase membership? Our President-elect Shekhar has a dream of what we have not been able to achieve in the last 15 years to be achieved in the coming 12 months. Dream of increasing our membership from 1.2 million to 1.3 million. And how do we go about doing it? The answer is extremely simple. It sounds difficult, but let me tell you, it's extremely simple. The new mantra in the Rotary bylanes are, each one, bring one. So friends, each one, bring one is meant to be more than a catchy sounding slogan. It is an initiative with severally carefully integrated components. each designed to support the backbone of our organization. Remember, each one bring one is relationship oriented and totally dependent on the cumulative strength of the Rotarians and your active participation. For Rotary is not you or me. Rotary is not Shekhar Mehta or Jennifer Jones. It is we all put together. An organization is only as strong as its member. That's why each one bring one. Somebody touched you, each one of you here, and brought you into this fantastic world of Rotary, where you're enjoying the joy of fellowship and the blessings of giving to others. Now it is our turn to touch somebody and bring him or her into Rotary so that he or she can enjoy fellowship and the joy of giving to somebody else, making somebody else's life more beautiful. So Shekhar asks each one of us to pay the rent of occupying the space in Rotary International, asking each one of us to bring one more member into Rotary. When you're doing this, I would ask each one of you to consider how you and your team can model diversity, equity, and inclusion for districts and clubs in your region. Help districts and clubs find opportunities to invite Rotaractors to join Rotary clubs or as dual members of both Rotary and Rotaract, for they are the future of our organization. Let me reassert here, Rotaractors don't need us. We need Rotaractors because they are our futures. Half of the world's population is women. However, Rotary does not reflect that. If we desire to be an organization of relevance, it is of utmost importance to endeavor to get more women members and bridge this percentage gap. I would also like each one of you to be very forthcoming when you are doing projects. Invariably, when we do service projects like doing ICAMs, probably doing projects for the homeless people, for soup kitchens, or probably doing heart surgeries for children, we generally put it out onto the social media much after the project is over. I would ask you to reconsider that. Put out the projects on the various media platforms on the digital world, maybe Facebook, maybe Twitter, maybe WhatsApp, whichever method you want. Put it out before you do the project. Because when you advertise before you do the project, asking the community leaders and the community members to join you to make the experience better, join you to serve better. When you do that, you will be surprised that many organizations, which is not part of our regular thought process, not part of our regular communication cycle, they would join you. They would be excited to come and join you in your endeavors of service to change life, serve to change life. And when they come with that, they will join up in your projects, bring value to our projects, and also bring value to our membership. So please do that. This year, President Shekhar has personally chosen to honor each sponsorer of a member. When you bring a member and when you're a sponsorer, President Shekhar will personally send you a letter of thank you. He's also created and asked the membership committee to create a virtual gallery. The staff have done a fantastic job of creating a virtual gallery called Rotary Society to honor you Rotarians who bring in sponsor more than 25 Rotarians in perpetuity. This is on retrospective effect. For example, if you've done 5 Rotarians in the past couple of years, you need to bring 20 more. And then you're at the magical figure of 25, and you are featured in the Rotary Society scroll of honor and find a place there for perpetuity. Fellow Rotarians, service is our business. People around the world need Rotarians more than ever before. For there are 1 billion hungry, 2 billion illiterate, and have no shelter and Medicare. They all need you Rotarians to help them. Nelson Mandela once said, we can change the world and make it a better place. It is in our hands to make a difference. Each of you Rotarians will serve Rotary better if you sponsor a new member and build a better world. So each one of you, bring one more Rotarian and make the world a better place to live in.
Thank you, Kamal. Such inspiring words and really practical suggestions at the same time, all with the goal of growing our organization as we all have the opportunity to share the gift that was given to us. Thank you for sharing those thoughts. And we also know from research that 87% of new Rotarians and 41% of new Rotaractors were actually introduced to their clubs through invitations from current members. And this makes sense, right? We're the undisputed pioneer of service leadership grounded in person-to-person connections. Now, last Rotary year, in fact, we welcomed nearly 121,000 new members into our clubs, and we welcomed back 17,000 former Rotarians. Rotarians and Rotaractors prioritize their reasons for joining and staying slightly differently, but generally, members are looking for these three things: local service, connecting with others, and professional development and leadership development opportunities. And we know that we can't simply add members to clubs and then fail to deliver what they're looking for. Now, unfortunately, last year, approximately 13,000 new members terminated their membership within the same year that they joined. That's about 10%. In addition, more than 137,000 existing Rotarians also left Rotary last year. Now, you're probably wondering, what are the primary reasons for leaving? Well, there's one very compelling connection between member satisfaction and member retention, and it could be the key to keeping members engaged for a lifetime. Now, through rather extensive surveying and analysis, we have found that feeling welcomed and comfortable with fellow members is the single most important variable when it comes to both member satisfaction and member retention. As a member's comfort increases, the probability of having higher satisfaction with their membership increases as well. In fact, a member who is not at all comfortable with other members in their club is 2 to 4 times more likely to terminate their membership than a member who is extremely comfortable. This is really important to keep in mind, and not just for your current club members, but for anyone and everyone who wants to engage with Rotary, no matter who they are or where they are in the world or how long they've been connected with us. All members, all prospective members, and other Rotary participants deserve and expect to feel valued, respected, and welcomed. So another question for our panelists, and I'd like to ask you both this. Are there other common threads that we should consider in those clubs that have constantly achieved membership growth and retention? What are the secrets? Yvonne, anything you can share?
Yes. Apart from the so many examples you have given, I do believe that there is a common thread, and it starts with member engagement. Keep your members busy. You don't want them bored, because that's when they're going to leave. Clubs keep them busy on committees and service projects, during club meetings. They all have roles to play. And you find out that with the clubs that show so much growth, all their members are engaged in one or two aspects of Rotary. Another aspect is vibrancy. A vibrant club attracts new members. Everybody wants to be part of that. And you will find that clubs that retain their growth and retention are so vibrant and are at the forefront of almost all the events, whether at club level or district level. They are right there in their members. They work together as a team. And as we know, together, each achieves more. Teamwork, it's so important. And like you said as well, respect. All these aspects you find in clubs that show quite significant growth in their members. So I believe engagement of club members and vibrancy from the top to the bottom aspects that we should look at to try and encourage membership growth and retention.
Thanks, Yvonne. How about you, Kamal?
Thank you, Brian. You know, recently I was reading an article of why a member left Rotary. And he was saying that I left Rotary because no one was worried about me. No one was bothered about me. I didn't have any role to play in the development of my club. I was always sitting in the corner and not involved in any club activity. So this is the greatest reason, Brian, like you said, you're worked out of your club. And you know, I always believe that the club members are like these 5 fingers, Brian. They are of different shape, different size, different culture, different creed, different vocation, and different capabilities. Alone, a small finger can't do much, or a thumb can't do much, or probably can do a lot. But when you join all the members of this different vocation, different thought process, different abilities, when you join them together, you form a fantastic, powerful fist. And this is what exactly the club is all about. When each and every member of your club from different vocation joins hands together, you form a powerful, active club, like Yvonne said. Yes, when your club is powerful, active, and vibrant, it automatically spells absolutely a beautiful rainbow, like the different colors of a crayon box. The members are like that. They bring a lot of color into the club. So I would want each one of you here, all you Rotarians here, make sure you nurture each and every club member. Make sure you make them feel wanted. Rotary is all about love, friendship, emotions, looking after each other. Remember, fellowship is the key word in Rotary. When you have great fellowship amongst yourself, the service projects automatically take over. And when the service is very good to the community, members tend to stick together. Brian, it's a story that when there is more service, where more service project which a club does, people tend to be more and more active in the club. And when there's more fellowship, they love each other, they stick to each other, and do good to the world.
Thanks, Kamal. It's a powerful message. And so what I'm hearing, really, it's understanding and meeting the expectations of our members, right? It's living up to our brand promise and our core values, including fellowship and service and leadership. And it's committing to providing a welcoming and inclusive club experience that ensures that a vibrant and engaged membership can persist. And this is really why the Rotary International Board of Directors has recently taken steps to strengthen our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. And diversity has long been one of Rotary's core values, and it continues to serve as a foundation for how we interact with each other and our communities. But we also know that there's more for us to learn and to do in order to ensure that an organizational culture reflects and exemplifies diversity, equity, and inclusion in all ways. Now, putting that commitment into action is not a top-down effort, right? It's you and I as club members who are the faces and voices of this commitment, the faces that people see when they look to join a club or join us in service. If they see the commitment in action, it strengthens the entire organization. Now, when we talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion in Rotary, here's what we mean. Diversity means that people from all backgrounds, cultures, experiences, and identities are welcome in Rotary. Equity means that we recognize that individuals from certain groups have historically experienced barriers to membership, participation, and leadership, and that we commit to advancing equity in all aspects of Rotary, including in our community partnerships and ensuring that each person has the necessary access to resources, opportunities, networks, and support to thrive. And finally, inclusion represents our belief that all people hold visible and invisible qualities that inherently make them unique. And we strive to create an inclusive culture where each person knows they are valued and that they belong. So Yvonne, where do we start?
I had discussions with one of the TDGs in my district, and it was quite interesting. And this is what we came up with. While there's no one right way to build inclusivity into clubs, there are a number of concepts that translate to any organization. Customized training is one of the most effective ways to drive meaningful change into your club. Number one, let's get the leadership involved. Without buy-in from leadership, diversity initiatives may struggle to achieve their intended goals. While these programs typically fall to club leaders, it is important to understand that everyone within the club needs to be an active participant. Number two, let's not focus solely on statistics. It's too easy to look at demographic data and decide that your club is meeting its diversity and inclusion goals. For example, raising the number of ethnically diverse members of the club may be important, but diversity for the sake of diversity is not the end goal. So while objective measurements of member equity have their place, it's equally important to measure the success of your DEI profile in the club and district in more subjective ways. For example, surveys and assessments performed during and after training sessions can help you understand how club members feel, helping in the design of community projects with actionable outcomes. Number three, let's remember inclusivity is an ongoing process. We can't promise an inclusive culture after a single training session. Inclusivity is an ongoing process. It's about building a culture that supports diversity and the equitable treatment of all club members. A continual evolution of social justice in our part of the world will have a direct impact on club member inclusivity. For example, current events such as virtual meetings can change the conversation overnight, shifting the focus of inclusivity into a new light. At the same time, other developments like the growing popularity of remote work can have far-reaching and unintended consequences on the club culture. Number four, let's build a sense of community and camaraderie. While the discussions that come out of diversity training sessions can be intense, they can also be joyful. Through open discussion, these sessions can build a stronger sense of community and connection among club members. When people feel comfortable being their true selves, rather than trying to conform to a perceived cultural standard, they can focus on being productive club committee members. And this leads to greater levels of cooperation and collaboration, sparking innovative ideas that benefit the club as a whole. Finally, let's consider the needs of individuals. An effective inclusivity program should provide space for individual club members to voice their opinions and concerns by soliciting feedback from club members, even as they meet virtually. We can help our club committee chairs identify where the program may be falling short. Through one-on-one conversations, polls, and anonymous surveys, club members can directly contribute to the future of club projects and programs. This sets up everyone for success and ensures that club programs continue to improve over time. In delivering training for DEI, engagement workshops and series should be designed to encourage active discussion, followed by a debrief and response strategy. Attendees can then walk away with a deep understanding of how to personally contribute to creating a supportive DEI culture in their clubs and throughout the Rotary world. Rotary clubs in their recruitment and engagement must consider their club's culture and dynamics and ensure that all professions, race, religions, gender, age, etc., are all taken care of. Recruitment in most cases should be in line with the classification system, adding elements of the society missing from their clubs. With reference to inclusion, engagement is important, and I've said this so many times already. Allocate responsibilities within their areas of interest and capabilities first, then expose them to other areas of Rotary as they learn. The STAR program is a wonderful way of keeping new members engaged. I'm not sure if many know about the STAR program. This was developed by the Rotary Club of El Paso in Texas in 1976. And the STAR stands for Special Training for Action in Rotary. It has proven to be a very effective tool for creating a better informed membership and preparing members for club leadership positions. Clubs draw up programs for newly inducted Rotarians to promote a more involved and knowledgeable membership. Each new member is placed on the STAR committee of the club. Each new member is visited personally in their place of business by the chair or the co-chair of the STAR committee. STAR committee members include the newly inducted, of course, and leaders of the club. Rotary topics include club history, the Rotary Foundation, avenues of service, and programs of Rotary International. All these are resourced to the newly inducted by the club leaders. Newly inducted are to attend service projects and get ticks as they go through the program drawn up by the club. In summary, programs are drawn up to suit each of the new clubs, each of the clubs that you have in the district. So there's no set form. It depends on the club. Now, Rotary is a continuous learning organization and process. We need to be flexible and innovative in our membership plans. In a nutshell, identify, introduce, invite, orient, and induct, inform, engage, involve, educate, and most importantly, have fun. Every club should strive to keep its members in Rotary and Rotary in its members.
I love that, Yvonne. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the commitment to having fun. That's important. And sometimes we forget it. You know, it's evident that you prioritize the member experience and the importance of involving and engaging all members and all participants, no matter the stage of their Rotary journey. And congratulations on that. Rotary offers a number of resources that can help you prioritize the member experience. I'd like to just highlight three that I would really recommend for every club. We have the Rotary Club Health Check and the Club Planning Assistant, both of which are designed for club leaders to reflect on the culture of their club. And it offers recommendations for improving the overall club experience, service and socials, business operations, even public image. And we also offer the Membership Satisfaction Survey. Yvonne spoke a lot about the importance of surveying and gathering feedback from your members. The Member Satisfaction Survey can be taken by all members of your club to identify what they like and what they don't like about their club experience. You can find these resources and many, many others at rotary.org/membership. So once we create the space for members and participants and the community to provide that regular feedback about their experience and their needs, we need to be committed to acting on that feedback. So Kamal, how are clubs adapting to meet the needs of their members and also those not yet a part of us?
Thank you, Brian. Last 2 years, Brian, the pandemic has changed the way we lead our lives, the way we think, the way we conduct our businesses, where we communicate, and Rotary has been no exception to the rules. Realizing that change is the only constant and the route to development, we have learned to be more flexible and understood that we need to change our meeting formats too. and engage our members in more fun, productive ways. You can meet in person, online, or a combination, including letting some members attend in-person meetings through the internet, the new normal, or you can change the format of your in-person meeting to include service projects, leadership development, committee reporting, social gatherings, members' professional talks, and educational talks on diversity, club vision, and other topics your club determines. To enhance member engagement, we have flexible club formats now, other than our traditional club format, which eases the attendance requirement and encourages members to participate in other ways, such as taking a leadership role, updating the club website regularly, running a meeting a few times a year, or planning an event. Remember, you members are volunteers. If your club is dynamic and offers a good experience for members, attendance would never be a problem. So let me talk about these new formats of membership now offered to you. There are different types of format now, the more flexible one. The first one, let me talk about the satellite club. We have now satellite clubs, which is a club within a club, enabling a group of individuals in Rotary to a Rotary experience who are not large enough to form a club of their own. And over a period of time, when they strengthen themselves, can form a new club or continue to remain a satellite club of a larger club. There are a new club called Passport Club. The term passport itself refers to the ability to move freely from one club to another club, attending and participating activities of other clubs, which brings in fresh ideas to their own clubs, relaxing the attendance policy and encouraging members to continue their engagement when they are traveling, which is very rampant these days with these young professionals, and offering them a broader experience. We also now have the corporate clubs. A corporate membership allows Rotary Club to involve a corporation or any business, non-profit of a government entity in Rotary by offering them alternative membership packages to some of its employees. Having corporate membership increases the club's membership while expanding its network and visibility in the community. Members gain access to fellowship and service opportunities of Rotary with the possibility of much smaller time commitment. We have the E-Club. The toast of the season is the E-Club. With the pandemic coming up, the E-Club has become the new normal, which excites the millennials. It excites the Generation X, the young professionals, giving them the Rotary experience from a doorstep and flexibility to engage themselves in Rotary activities, projects across the world beyond borders. So these are some of one of these various flexible options to enhance our reach to change lives, Brian. Also the E-Club, invariably we talk about it that E-Clubs are for Gen X and millennials. I would also say E-Clubs are for senior citizens too. Many of the senior citizens or Rotarians are challenged by traveling. They can't go to a regular club meeting because they are challenged, they have time constraint, they have probably resources constraint. E-Club enables every Rotarian to attend a club meeting at his will, at his desire, at his time, at his own house. And let me tell you, when I did the last institute in January, I got so many blessings from my past governors who have reached a certain age where they are challenged to go out. They have got probably challenged to move out due to health reasons. And they were the most happiest people for experiencing a Rotary experience of an institute after years together. So Brian, these are these fantastic options of flexibility which Rotary has adapted so that our organization can become more flexible and become where members can enjoy these different experiences.
Thanks, Kamal. I love the focus on flexibility and meeting people where they are, right? Regardless of age or geography. It all comes down to putting the needs of our members and participants at the center of all that we do, right? And that's critical for our success. And we all want a stronger and more effective Rotary, a Rotary that's more inclusive and open, both to new members, but also to new ideas, and more adept at using partnerships and digital tools and other resources to help bring people together. So let's look around our communities and see all the ways that people are currently connecting through shared professional goals or shared culture or interests. And let's invite those people to connect with us too. There's so many ways to expand Rotary's reach. And I'd love to hear from you both, just briefly, as we're running a little short on time, but briefly, can you share some other ways that you're engaging with more people of action? Yvonne, can you share your thoughts?
Rotarians and everyone involved in Rotary are people of action. And as people of action, we inspire, we connect, we transform, empower, save lives, promote peace, learn, motivate, mentor. We end polio and we fight hunger. These are all people of action terms. We do this within our communities and all over the world through our clubs and through our members as we deliver our humanitarian service. And through our actions, clubs engage their members, communities, non-Rotarians, service partners and organizations, all in the service of Rotary. And there are so many other ways that we can engage people. You can start a dialogue about how we can mutually benefit from their participation in our activities and events. Many countries have associations in almost all our 7 areas of focus. Discussions with your country's forestry department, for example, medical association, are Rotary partners on joint service projects, guest speaker roles at club meetings and events. It's always a good way of drawing in new Rotarians and engaging them straight from the start. We can also develop a course-based club to attract and engage members who are passionate about a specific issue like water or peace. As soon as I discovered Ghana had a chess association with more than 3,000 new members, critical thinking and education literacy came to mind. Discussions are ongoing with some of the executives of this association on the possibility of forming a club geared towards education. Environmental groups would make an excellent Rotary club with concerns regarding our 7th area of focus, saving the environment. And I mentioned earlier, there are many groups and organizations clubs can and should work with to engage and grow Rotary. There are many, many perspectives to be found on the membership leads page on Rotary.org. If you can't find an existing club for them, give them their own club, including Rotaractors and young leaders on district committees and activities. Our young leaders in Rotary are craving engagement and inclusivity. They are a wealth of knowledge, especially in the IT and social media domains. They are passionate, innovative, and come with boundless energy, ready to work. Include them on district committees, and that's a wonderful start. It is also a learning curve for them and will give them the confidence to aspire for higher office. Offering a new membership type, for example, corporate membership to attract multiple members from the same company, or an associate membership for younger professionals who want an option that costs less or requires less time. And don't forget, there's also the family membership. All these are ways of drawing people into Rotary. Let's celebrate Rotary days and events in a huge way. There's Polio Day, Rotary Peace Day. Invite your corporate world. Other NGOs, friends of Rotary, our service partners. The reverse also works. Independence Days, national holidays. Use every opportunity to introduce everyone around us to Rotary.
Thanks, Yvonne. So many great thoughts there. But I just want to kind of acknowledge as we wrap things up today that increasing membership, right, and engaging the membership that we have, while also continuing our commitment to ending polio and fighting COVID-19 and serving our communities is really an ambitious goal. But we also recognize that our members always have and always will rise above any challenge that we face. So Kamal, to wrap things up, could you just share a couple of quick thoughts about what our participants can do specifically with the information shared today?
Oh, first and foremost, I want each and every one of you to be storytellers. It is extremely important that you share your stories of good work which Rotary has done, because when you share your stories, Rotary's impact and public understanding of who we are and what we do would become evident to everyone. And that would create a platform which would increase our Rotary's public image. And it is these stories which will help each one bring one. And the second thing, Brian, I want to say that alone we cannot change the world. Today, gone are the days when the tortoise and the hare used to run the race alone. Today is the time of partnership. They got to run the race synergy, helping each other and finishing in much greater speed, time, and perfection. So these new partnerships are very essential to Rotary's expansion and the reach. Let me share two examples for you. Recently, Vision Spring, one of the largest organizations which helps people for avoidable blindness, especially children, contacted Rotary in my zone and said, we want to give spectacles or eyeglasses made to order for a child, 100,000 children across India in the first phase, because they heard about Rotary's commitment and they realized Rotary is dependable, and they understood that Rotary's reach in every village, every town, every street. And they joined up with our organization, Rotary International, in my zone in 4567 in India. And we are now going to together give 100,000 spectacles to children, which will enable for better learning. The second, NewsX, a leading television channel, a business channel in India, which has another 10 channels, contacted me as I chair the Rotary India Literacy Mission too. And they said, let's bring value to the literacy drive in India, because we have pledged in India to make India totally literate in the next 5 years. They realized it. They picked it up from there, from our commitment of Rotary. And we have joined up with another 2 organizations together. 4 organizations are going to give 100,000 tablets to children who are deprived or from economical deprived community, so that they can experience the digital learning platform. Brian, these are these fantastic stories which I always believe. And so to wrap it all up, partnerships, diversity, equity, inclusion, and make sure that every Rotarian is worked out in the club. Make sure that you make everyone participate, love, friendship, emotion, the key word for Rotarians. And last, again, I reiterate that let us all live and work hard to make sure that the President Shekhar's dream comes into a reality by asking each one of you Rotarians here, each one, bring one.
I love that. Thanks, Kamal. And so let's find every opportunity to show that we value each and every member and those that are not part of us yet. Let's seize the moment to build on what we've learned, to embrace our new reality and welcome new faces and find additional ways for us to shine. So I'd really like to thank both of you, our panelists, and thanks to all of you for joining us today. Be well, everyone, and together let's grow Rotary.